to go to Disneyland California Adventure for the first time ever. Super excited. First thing that we did was make 2 stops in downtown Disney. One was Beignet Express, where my sister got a frozen hot chocolate. And then we also stopped at Starbucks for some coffee. Once we got to the entrance of DCA, we were already hungry, obviously. So our first stop was Smoke Jumper's Grill in Grizzly Peak, which I highly recommend to anyone. First ride of the day was Soarin', which is such a classic. I love how the queue was different than in Disney World. I think it's so fun. Since we were already in Grizzly Peak, we went on the rapids next, and it was such a fun ride. Honestly, didn't even get as wet as I thought we were, which is a good thing. We definitely tried to be a little bit more organized today and not jump between lands like the day before. So we followed the path and went on the Little Mermaid next, which is such a cute dark ride. Then it was time for Pixar Pier, which is what I was so excited for and what I was looking forward to the most. I went on the Incredicoaster by myself and it was so much fun, and I actually ended up going on it for a second time later on in the day. It was so fun, and it was definitely longer than I expected. I thought it was going to be a short coaster, and it definitely wasn't. And I love The Incredibles, so it was so fun that it was themed to that. We then saw 2 iconic Pixar characters, Ember from Elemental and Rex from Toy Story, which is always so fun. After that, we ended up heading over to San Francisco Square, which looked amazing. I honestly didn't even have that much insight of what it looked like before, so this was definitely a surprise. We ended up actually peeking into Cars Land for a little bit, but we ended up catching the Spider-Man show. It was actually so crazy. I think the one flipping through the air was actually an animatronic, so this was insane. We honestly started to get overheated and tired, so we watched the PhilHeart Magic Show, which never gets old. Then we somehow stumbled into an animation area where we got to draw a Disney character. We ended up drawing Syndrome, which is the villain from The Incredibles. Someone walked you through each step, which was so fun, and I'm not a good drawer, but I definitely felt like I did okay. Afterwards, we ended up walking into Turtle Talk with Crush, which was so fun. We literally tried to do everything, if you guys can't tell. DCA is definitely a smaller park, so we had more time to do as much as we wanted. So then we headed over to the Monsters, Inc. ride, and I actually heard that they're getting rid of it soon, which I am so heartbroken, but it was so adorable and such a fun ride. I am so grateful that I was able to ride it before it does shut down. Then we ended up heading back to Avengers Campus, and we went on Web Slingers, and let me tell you guys, it was such an arm workout. I was not expecting that. After that, I ended up going on Guardians of the Galaxy by myself. This is the same exact ride system as Tower of Terror at Disney World, and they ended up changing it over here to Guardians of the Galaxy, which is so fun and so different. The Monsters Unleashed overlay made it even better for the Halloween time. Then we ended up going back to Cars Land, and we were so sad because the Cars ride,